Hello investors, welcome to the world's greatest forecast of the stock market. Goldman Sachs has a chart that predicts 5 years in the future of your stock market returns. And it looks pretty good sometimes, it's right on the money here, but there are times when it's way off. Considering it's a 5-year forecast, I'd say it's pretty good. But they don't tell you how it is they calculate this chart. They do say that in the future we're going to have negative returns. For a 10-year, for even better correlation, the 10-year chart works amazingly well. So here's the 10-year returns. They show negative during the times of 1929 and 2000, and that was back when this valuation was very high. And it's very high again. So perhaps the Goldman chart is accurate. But an even better correlation is using average investor equity allocation. So in other words, when investors have more money in stocks than they do in bonds and in real estate or whatever investments, there's a very high probability that stocks will not go up for 10 years or even can go down for 10 years. The correlation to reality is very close. The blue line shows how close. Sometimes it's off for a couple of years, but it does follow it very close. This is the best you can get. So this chart shows back to 2013. But if you want to see this data now, there's an app that uses this data because it's available on the Federal Reserve. And the magenta line is the same as the average investor equity allocation. So it predicts that stocks will have a very low return in the future 10 years. It's very high correlation, as we saw. This app also has a timing mechanism. When this chart is green, it says S&P 500. That's when you should own stocks. That the indicators used are unemployment and the stock market itself. So when unemployment goes up and the stock market goes down, it says go to cash. This thing turns red and says cash. If you follow this app, then you will be protected during the recession, and your money will go up like this green line instead of going like the blue line. So it far outperforms the stock market. An even better app is this one. It's available in the Google Play Store. It costs $100, but it's worth it. And if you don't like it, you can uninstall and get your money back. So it shows the same thing here with the predicting the future returns. And it also shows valuation. So the red line is high value or overvalued, and the green line is undervalued. And it also shows a chart which I don't have on the screenshot because you have to pay money to get it. It predicts the stock market. It shows the line of the actual stock prices. So you can see if it goes up to 3,200, if it goes sideways or down. You want to see what it looks like for the next 10 years. You get this app. All right, investors, I wish you well.